Hey, Al, Cohen here. So I wanted to make a video sooner in the week, but it's been a week. So pretty much what I think I was wanting to update everyone on was about my flight and accommodations for my trip to Austin. So I applied to Hope Air. It's Hope Air Canada, and I applied for funding for travel and accommodation support. They got back to me after I filled out everything online, and they asked me a few other questions and then got back to me and let me know that the flight for myself and my caregiver, which is going to be my wife, are covered, so there and back. You don't get actual tickets. They give you a confirmation number, and when you go to the airport, you give them your confirmation number, and then they give you your tickets, I guess, is what I'm grasping from the email. I believe that if I need to check any bags, we're gonna pick our seats so that we can sit together. So that would be something where when we go online, we have to pay for that, which is completely fine because, you know, they're already covering the cost of the flight, so it's not a big deal. I don't check bags anymore when I go for my surgery trips. To be honest, I take a couple pairs of shorts, a pair of track pants with me, and I usually wear a pair of track pants on the plane, and then I bring t-shirts, sweater, and then I usually like have a sweater with me on the plane as well. So I'll have my carry-on bag with my clothes that I need and my medical stuff that I did a video about before, and then I bring a backpack with any of my surgical information, my passport, and anything that I want to be able to do on the plane. And then I also have a bag to carry around with me when I am in Austin, so it works out. And then I don't have to pay to check any bags, and the one bag just goes in the overhead and the other one goes underneath the seat. So far easier, and you don't have to wait around. So if you know that you're going for surgery, honestly, you're not going to be able to wear your regular clothes anyways. I was not able, like, I'm sure I could have, but wearing regular pants or whatnot would have been probably really uncomfortable during recovery, so I have a bunch of basketball shorts that I wear and baggy track pants. So for that, that's literally, I brought one pair of shorts and a nice shirt to go out for dinner with my wife, hopefully before surgery, so that, like, it was actually our anniversary, 9-year wedding anniversary on Wednesday, so yesterday, and it was the middle of the week. She had to work, we have a kid, and we're going away for my surgery, so we decided that we're just gonna do something when we're in Austin. So that's all my wife's gonna do, as well as bring a carry-on and a backpack as well. So the flights are covered, and then they told me that 5 days accommodation. So they booked me into a hotel that's not far from Crane's office in the surgical center. So I ended up finding out from them where the hotel is, what hotel it is, and we ended up calling and booking 7 more days, which is the remainder of the time that I'll need to stay, so I'll be there 12 days total. But yeah, we just ended up calling the hotel and booking the same room for the next 7 days so that I didn't have to move hotels or to an Airbnb or even rooms. If I had to move rooms, that would have been fine, but the 5-day mark would leave me at being like roughly 2.5 days post-op, so therefore it would not be a good thing to be moving to a different hotel or to an Airbnb at that point. So we are just staying in the hotel, and I believe the same room for the remainder of the time there. There's breakfast included. I don't know, I guess it's like cereal, maybe muffins and stuff like that. We have a mini fridge, I think a microwave and a coffee maker, and there's 2 beds and a bathroom and like TV, but that's pretty much it. There's a pool, a fitness room, laundry, other stuff like that. None of them I'll be using, but they do have stuff at the hotel. It's also a 10-minute drive from Radio Coffee, where I like to go get coffee and hang out and usually meet up with people, so that's awesome as well. And then it's probably like 15 minutes from the main strip of Congress Street, where there's a lot of interesting things to do and see, so that's cool as well. Hopefully I'll be able to do some wandering around. However, I'm not going to be doing too much because I will be having lipo done on my leg, as well as some things done on my junk, so walking won't be something that I'll be doing a lot of, but you know, it is what it is, and I'm there for a reason. I don't think there's too much else that went along with it. Like, the Hope Air thing was actually pretty easy. The only thing that was worrisome and troublesome is the fact that I'm used to booking all of my stuff early, so normally by like 3 months before my surgery, I try to roughly figure out what days I have my surgery and when I have to be there and when I have to stay until, so that I can book an Airbnb and my flights and it's all said and done. Well, Hope Air doesn't book until like 2 weeks before, and for surgery and on the forms that I had to send into Cranes, you need to send in 2 weeks early your information and signing off that you understand what's going on and all that other jazz. And in those forms, you also have to fill out an address for where you will be staying so that they know that you have accommodations where you will be staying in Austin. So I had to get a hold of Hope Air a couple times and try to get them to like push it through a bit sooner, because I told them, like, you know, my surgeon needs to know where I'm staying, and I also need to book 7 more days somewhere, and if the hotel doesn't have room for me, then I gotta find somewhere, and that's stressful. So luckily they did it 3 weeks prior, but so that's all sorted now. I have everything for that. Actually, the day after I made the video, I got all my confirmations for everything completely. So flights, accommodations, and they also gave a voucher for $80 for Uber rides so that I can get to my surgical appointment and back to my hotel, and then also to my post-op appointment and back to my hotel, as well as from the airport to the hotel and back. Roughly that should cover those trips. And then there's also an $80 Uber voucher for food, so we can get probably like 2 meals with that, roughly, depending on what we eat. Probably 3, depends. But like I said, the hotel only has the microwave and the coffee maker and a mini fridge, so we don't have a kitchenette or anything. Breakfast we'll probably eat in the hotels. We'll have some snacks and stuff in the fridge, but otherwise I think most meals are probably actually going to be having to eat out somewhere, order in, or find something that's already like pre-made. I'm not a huge fan of microwave meals. I never have been. They're not for me. If I find something that's good, I'm not going to turn my nose up to it, but at the end of the day, I've not really found anything microwave meal wise that I like, so we'll have to see. I've never stayed somewhere without having a place to make food or have like a kitchen, so we'll see how that goes. It's different. It's a little bit cheaper than the Airbnb, but then I'm thinking about it with having like with food, being able to go grocery shopping and having your own space to make your own food and store food is really just so much nicer to have. And I feel like at the end of the day it would probably round out to being the same price. However, you know, beggars can't be choosers, and I'm not going to, and I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying I've never gone on a trip this long without having without having a kitchen or somewhere to make my own food. What else? Sorry, it's been a week. My car, I had to get the valve on one of my tires fixed because I had a slow leak in one of my tires, and if you've watched any of my other videos since June, I've had a couple things. It's not big issues. It's like my car's a 2017. I finally paid it off, so in the spirit of that, little things are going to start to happen. I had to get the car aligned. I had to swap tires off because I ran my tires bald. So I had another two to put on the front. They just needed to be taken off the rims and then put back on. And then also I had to get a urine culture test done, and I went and got it done. And then I got a phone call from my doctor earlier this week saying that there was like a small amount of bacteria found, and she wanted me to go do another test. So then she asked me where I wanted to go, and I said, well, I go to Life Labs, and I gave her the address of the one that I'm used to going to, but I haven't been there in a while, but it's near where I used to live. So I just shot that one off the top of my head because that's the one that I've kind of always gone to. So she said she's going to send in the requisition, and I just had to go. So I get up, take my wife to work, come home, get my son ready for school on the bus. Once he's on the bus, then I go and I drive to where the Life Labs that I normally go to is. And it's not there anymore. They closed that location, so then I drove down the street because there was another one just like at the next main city intersection. And there was like a lineup of 20 people outside. And I obviously don't know if my requisition would end up there because the one just down the street was closed. Highly doubted it, but was on the phone with my doctor's office. And ended up being on the phone for like 20 minutes with the receptionist at my doctor's office trying to explain to her that, like, I'm going for surgery in Austin. And I need to get this test done, but the requisition that my surgeon gives me to get done is an American requisition. So then I need to get my doctor to do a Canadian one. And I was in the week before and had the Canadian one done. And the doctor's office actually has a lab tech that comes and picks up urine samples and takes them to the lab. So you can actually get urine tests done at my doctor's office. So that's what I had done the week prior. But my doctor called me and said, you need to do this. And then I told the receptionist, so what I did was I went to the Life Labs where the requisition is supposed to be and where I'm supposed to pee in the cup. And it doesn't exist anymore. It's not there. And so I asked, like, can I come into the doctor's office tomorrow before the person comes from the lab? Like, can I just come and pee in a cup and drop it off type thing? And she starts telling me that, like, no, we don't do that anymore. You have to have a doctor's appointment. And then I'm like, well, originally, when I had to do this test, I tried to get an appointment at the beginning of September, and I couldn't until last week because you guys are so booked up that when I went online to book, it said that I couldn't get an appointment till October 22nd, and October 21st is the day that I come home from having surgery. So I had to call, and I got squeezed in so that I could do this test. And then I found out that there's a tiny bit of bacteria, so my doctor wants me to do another test just to see. And so now I have to do that, and my surgeon needs these results. And if there happens to be any bacteria, then obviously, like, my doctor was going to give me an antibiotic so that, like, it would be gone by the time that anything would be gone by the time that I have surgery. So with that, I'm just stressing the car, the trying to just pee in a friggin' cup type thing, worrying about the accommodations and the flights and stuff, making sure that I have all that organized, getting stuff ready to pack, making sure that, like, my house is in order, everything to do with my son is in order, my pets, all that kind of stuff. And she's arguing me over peeing in a cup. And I said, the doctor called me personally yesterday and said that I need to go do this. And now I'm telling you that this Life Labs is closed. Like, it's closed down. There is a new business in this area where the Life Labs used to be. It doesn't... And then she tries to tell me to go online and book myself into Life Labs. But if I book myself into Life Labs, I need a requisition. And the requisition was sent to a fax number for a Life Labs that doesn't exist anymore. So I would have to get the doctor... I would have to call the doctor's office back right after booking an appointment and get them to fax it over, or I would have to go pick up a copy of it, in which case I could just pee in a cup at the doctor's office if I have to go there anyways. So finally, after trying to explain this to her and telling her, like, the time sensitivity of everything and the fact that I've been trying, but it's just a matter of I've not been able to get in or this and that, And so finally she says, okay, you can come in tomorrow and do that. And I go in the next day and I go pee in the cup, and I'm not even in there for like I was in the doctor's office for 5 minutes. And it was a 20-minute conversation just to be able to do that. Like, it's just been ridiculous. I've tried I was gonna try to go out and hang out with friends, hope like this week before I leave, just so I could like relax and stuff. And I've just been so ridiculously overwhelmed that like I didn't go out and see anybody. I haven't done anything. I wanted to kind of see people before I left because I've just been so stressed out about everything, but it didn't happen. And yeah, so oh man, like I don't want to say this is the most stressful experience I've had at this point regarding this stuff, but I believe it is. I've never waited this close to the time that I have to leave, to have flights booked, to have a hotel booked, to have tests done, to send in my forms. Normally I'm like asking Crane Center for the forms earlier than normal, or my prescriptions earlier than normal, just so I can have everything ready to go and in my possession and I'm all good to go. And just this time there's just been a lot of outside stuff going on, and then trying to get this done at the same time has been just, oh, so stressful. Yeah, like I'm not worried about surgery. I'm not worried about traveling. I'm not worried about being there. Like I am just honestly exhausted from getting everything together for this time. And this is like what? I went to San Francisco twice. I've been to Austin 3 times already. So this is the 6th time that I've had to travel for phalloplasty surgery. And this is literally the most stressful one so far as beforehand. Even stage 1, like even though I was going to be gone for over a month and stuff, I had my parents with me and my wife and my son. Very lucky, I know. So it wasn't as stressful, even though it was for like at least almost 3 times as long. But yeah, this time it's just been, I feel like I just can't even catch my breath sometimes, and I am so tired. So while I'm looking forward to going, I'm not looking forward to going just because of how exhausted I am. But I guess, you know, I'll be going for surgery and then I'll be recovering and relaxing. So hopefully the downtime will help. But throughout all this, I also haven't had a therapist for about a month now, maybe longer. I can't keep track of time anymore. But I got a new therapist, as I told you guys before, and ended up that my funding got screwed up, and it shouldn't be at all. It should be 100% approved. There should be no ifs, ands, or buts about it, but somehow, somewhere, my paperwork got screwed up, and at this point, I still don't have any idea what's going on. My therapist has messaged me to let me know what is going on, said that, you know, if I want to go find somebody else, because this is taking so long, that I shouldn't feel bad about it. I should just go ahead and do it if that's, you know, she would understand. But at the end of the day, I've had to find a therapist after either being dropped, not given the proper treatment, or just literally ghosted. I don't want to search anymore. I am tired. I am tired. I would just like to be able to have somebody professional that I talk to, and, you know, this person so far in the appointments that I have had with her have been awesome. I like the vibe. She seems to understand what I'm wanting out of everything, and seems to actually have a decent understanding of me when I'm explaining things and talking about things, and has a good way of letting me see my own faults, but also letting me see where, like, I'm valid as well. So to me, that's very important. And I just told her, I'm like, oh, I don't want to look, and I very much like you, and I liked where things were going with our appointments and stuff, and I felt really good about it. And the only thing is this stupid paperwork bullcrap that's going on where I'm being frozen out of care. Thank you very much. That's because, you know, it's not important, is it? It's not her fault. I'm not saying it's her fault. It's the government's fault. But at the end of the day, you know, I am doing my best. I'm trying. And I'm having more bad days versus good. But, you know, as long as there's good days, then there's a point in having days. You know what I mean? Not saying that if you have all bad days that you shouldn't have any days at all. Please don't take that like that. Like I said, I don't edit videos, so therefore I'm not going to go back and edit that out. Every day is important regardless of if it's a good day or a bad day, and sometimes days are really bad and we just have a hard time getting through them, but every day is worth having. So please don't take my joke as anything other than what it was. Yeah, so I'm going to leave that there because I just keep rambling, as you guys can probably tell, but I did want to update on what's been going on with me, and I think I've given you a pretty good idea of what's been going on. I left out a ton of stuff that I can't even remember, but I know that there are other things that have gone on in the past, like, week and a bit, where it's just made things a little bit more stressful. So, yeah. I'm going to make a video before I leave. I leave next Wednesday, so in just under a week. I'll make another video. I'll say hello. I'll update on anything else because I do have my pre-op on the 8th, which is the day before I leave. I leave on the 9th. So I'll do that. And I just wanted to give everybody some insight into that, and also to what Hope Air did cover for me. I do want to say that it does go based on what your support needs are. So therefore, if you do have a higher income, then you may get less. I don't know if they deny anybody. I'm not in a position of finance where I would be on the high scale where they would probably tell me no. I'm on the low scale where I was accepted. So just a heads up on that. Like, if you need the help, that's what it's there for. It's there for medical, travel, and things like that for people that live in Canada that need some help because they can't afford it themselves, or all of it themselves. So yeah, that's, you literally just go on to Google Hope Air Canada. It'll pop right up. And if anybody has any questions, anyone needs to chat, wants to know anything, comment below. Go check out Trans Fellas on Instagram, and you can feel free to message me on there as well. I try to check that account a couple times a week. I used to be far more active on there. I am still roughly as active. I'm pretty active on YouTube. I don't think I've really, like, done a big dip in that. I know that in Trans Fellas there has been a dip in things, but also I've been going through surgery for the last 3 years, and I also founded a Pride and started a rural support program within those 3 to 4 years as well. So I've been a little busy and gone a little closer to home versus as big wide out as I used to go. I'm still here on Instagram and on YouTube for anybody wherever you are. So don't feel like you can't message me or ask me questions. You totally can. I'm just not as active on Instagram for Trans Fellas as I used to be prior to phalloplasty. So yeah. Anyhow, I'm out. See you later. Have a great weekend. Hope everybody's doing well. I don't want to keep anyone any longer. This is too much. I don't even know if I want to post this video. I'm going to do it anyways because I did it. I made the video. But sorry to everybody because I don't even know what to say about this video. This is just me popping up, and now I'm out.